Hi everyone, and welcome to my own personal desktop on Linux at home. This is a large screen here. I'm probably going to produce quite a large recording here, but I want to introduce you briefly to a few different ideas that I actually have here. Now, I use Linux at home and also Android, and at work normally we use some version of Windows, so we're looking at bits and pieces of software that we could use on different platforms that are very useful. One of them, of course, is Audacity, and you'll notice here that we've got a well-characterized waveform, which is actually the whole recording. The recording here is Jean-Michel Jarre's full Equinox, okay? And you can record things on here with any microphone in stereo, and you can then play them if you want to, play back here. Yeah, you can see there, playback is quite easy, okay? You can also export files as different formats. So you notice down here we've got 16-bit Microsoft Wave type file, but we've got a whole range of other ones that we can use there, including full lossless audio codec, okay? So this is a very useful piece of software. I've used it in the past for recording practice audios for students who want to do speech contests and things like that. Okay, so yeah. Thinking of media also, if we think about, let's just take a quick look down here. I mean, for Windows, you can download these things from sources such as CNET or FileHippo. Okay, and there's how it used to look on my system. Yeah. Also, of course, for playback, things like the same kind of media, also videos. You've got a very good, freely available but proprietary, piece of software called VLC. Okay, and VLC is good because not only does it play streaming audio and video and also anything that you actually have on your system, but it also allows you to transcode between different audio and video file types, which is very, very good. So it's very, very versatile piece of software. Yeah. Now for waveforms, we have things like our sound oscilloscope, which I can use on Android. They have a variety of different output displays that you can use, and this is very good for practicing things like Fortis and Lenis with your working with the modulation of your students, trying to make them sound a bit more natural. Okay, yeah. So if you took screenshots, then you'd have like a sound recording, probably a sound recording app also. Is probably going to be very useful for those students who have problems modulating properly. Okay. Now, one class of program or app which should probably also be mentioned is a news aggregator. Now, this would be a program which receives an email notification of new material and prompts the users to download it. There are also aggregators for podcasts, such as Podcast Republic, where you can subscribe to a podcast channel and download new editions via Wi-Fi. And of course, I use this on my own tablet. All over the place. And it's very, very good. If you want to produce your own podcast, then you set up your own channel, and it's really easy for your students to actually download it. Although, of course, they could be able to download it from your own server as well. Okay. Then we think about image manipulation. Now, of course, things like Paint.net and Irfan View are quite well known on Windows. There's also the free GNU image manipulation program, or GIMP, which is kind of substitute for Photoshop. If we open a file here, yeah, this is a graphic. Actually, that's probably a good one there, yeah. But you notice here, you can take any graphic here, like JPEGs, for example, PNG, bitmaps, things like that, crop them and change the gamma on them, and it's a very, very good, very useful piece of software. I've not lived without it, seriously. That's a GNU Image Manipulation Program, or GIMP, okay? Free to download for Windows, okay? Okay, and here's an earlier example from a few years ago, full desktop size, okay? They're available for Apple, for Microsoft, BSD, not for Android, but you can have them for for Linux as well, which is it's a native application for Linux. There's also another one called Inkscape, okay, and Inkscape is used for creating vector graphics. Yeah, here it is here. So you can actually use this, have a palette here and various, line drawing and other tools that you could use to produce your own picture, and then save it as whichever file format you want to, and use it in whatever way you want to, possibly with some cropping from GIMP or some other suitable software that you could use the same way. Okay. Now, why not social networking? Now, here's an interesting point that Facebook seems like an obvious choice, but it's not very private. The company might take a rather dim view of having something so obviously open. So maybe you want to consider something like where are we? Where are we? Yeah. First of all, things like NiceNet, for example, which is actually free. And you can actually, have your classroom materials on there. Students can communicate with you directly, very much the same way as they would with Moodle. Okay, or you could have something like Dolphin. Yeah. Now I set up a sample here where you can actually see the kind of display that you get on Dolphin. This is created by Boonex. Okay, but the only problem with it is it's not free. There are other ones that are free, but I've been having problems actually installing them, so I'm not able to demonstrate this right now, but so I do have my usual sense of humour there. Right? Okay, so it's possible to have some kind of social network or other similar thing set up on your own website. On my own, for example, here's my blog, and there is actually a forum on here, which is actually called WP Symposium. Now you can run it without any particular non-paid features. The thing works fine as it is. Okay, and it's a very basic forum, but people can contact on there. They have links to everything from there, and they can actually put pictures and things like that on it. Okay, or they might want to go for some kind of chat engine. Now this again is a private chat engine on my own web space. Called Ajax Chat, and you can change the languages here. Yep. You can also change the color scheme as well. Very versatile. Okay. And actually, very very simple sound effects. So smileys. You can put URLs and everything, images and everything on there, and change the font colors. Okay. Let's just get out of that. Whoops. Hang on. Log out. Okay. Okay. Similar things would be like WebICQ, for example, and of course I also use Telegram. I have a channel on here where I put links to, materials and, interesting websites, grammatical material to help the students and, JPEGs and things like that, documents to help them with their teaching. Okay, let's see now, yeah. Of course, another one that might be interesting might be Viber, because this allows, between machines, it allows free video chat as well as audio chat, and also, text-based chat. Yeah, but depends really what you want to do with it. Right. Okay then. Right then, so what else have we got? Yeah, now for storage online, a lot of people would think probably of Dropbox, but Dropbox unfortunately is not what some of us would consider to be particularly secure, and I normally use Box.com. It's possible to have all your stuff up there. You can have 50 gigabytes for free and 10 gigabytes of bandwidth per month, so therefore this is quite a very useful way of you can go onto the classroom computer, you can display things directly or print them or download them if you want to, and this is a free service. Okay. Okay. Other things that we've come across to do with connectivity, things like, well, actually, no. A very good thing would be KDE Connect. Okay, this is actually a kind of KDE-based file system access and sharing program that you can have for like Windows and Android and Linux, and you could use it to actually transfer files using Wi-Fi between different machines. Okay, so this is actually very useful. I'm using it a lot lately between my cell phone and my tablet and my main machine here. Now, one final thing that I'd really like to share is something called OpenBoard. Now, OpenBoard is created by a company in Switzerland, and it's basically a free smart board that you can download and use on your machine. It's available for Apple and Apple and Linux and also Windows. Okay, and we can actually bring the thing up here. Okay, so you have the whiteboard space here. You have the tools here as well. You know, the eraser, the marker. You can mark things on it, and also probably you can go surfing the web as well. Okay, and so you just yeah, there we go. There's their actual website there in English. Okay, so you can add other websites that you want to go to. Something a frequent place that I go to is this one. Okay, so we can flip easily. Get off. Okay, you can flip easily between different. It's tab browsing inside the actual thing itself. And then you can also have an on-screen keyboard, and back to the board again. Display documents, yeah, and of course show the desktop. So here's a range of very interesting things that I've come across so far. Not an exhaustive list by any means, but it really depends upon the actual platform that you're actually using. But I tend to say that, well, the most important thing is the file type rather than the platform. So these are the ones that I would recommend people to use for ease of transport and also sharing files between operating systems and being able to display them without any problems. Okay, cheers folks.